Hi guys, we are continuing the fall color trend series today. We started off with mauve products and I really appreciate the feedback that I got on that video. Several of you were saying that you wanted to see rose gold as the next color trend. So that's what we're going to be doing today, and I love rose gold in the fall. So let me know in the comments of this video what you would like to see as the third color trend. When it comes to rose gold makeup, I would say that it's most popular with the eye makeup and maybe on the cheeks. So that's what you're going to see a majority of in this video. I'll start off with a very popular shade from L'Oreal, and it is their L'Oreal Infallible eyeshadow in Amber Rush. If you're looking to incorporate more rose gold into your look, but you're not really at the point where you want to invest in a full-on rose gold eyeshadow palette, then this is a great way to start. It's about $7 or $8 at the drugstore. This one's very popular because I think we all were kind of seeking that rose gold at some point in the last year or two. I think rose gold became really popular, especially during the time when Urban Decay's Naked 3 palette came out, which I am also going to talk about in this video. It just catches the light so beautifully, and it's just one of those where you can pop it on your eye and your eyes are really going to stand out. It's a very packed pigment, and you can use your finger, you can use a flat shadow brush. No matter how you use it, it's going to apply beautifully on the eye. Before we get into the eyeshadow palettes, I have one more single eyeshadow to recommend, and this is Morphe number 76, and they describe this on the website as a pink beige champagne. And I put together my own customized palette. I also mentioned this palette in my mauve video because I have a mauve in here that I really like, but this is a beautiful rose gold. This isn't as shiny and saturated as Amber Rush, but if you wanted to use this to complement some other colors, like for example some browns, it goes really nicely. If Amber Rush is a little too much for you, this is a very nice subtle rose gold. And I wanted to mention that eyeshadow in case you were looking to put in a Morphe order sometime soon. Now it's time to get into the eyeshadow palettes, and these are the two that you're likely expecting from me in this video. It's not really a surprise, but I do love both of them. I think they're both worth mentioning. This one is the Maybelline Blushed Nudes palette. This is what I'm wearing today. I was really surprised by this one because I didn't like its sister, the Nudes palette. I think that one was really dusty. It didn't have much pigment to it, but this one, as long as I prime my eyelids, I think this lays on the eye beautifully. For the most part, I went with this quad right here. This is that really typical rose gold, and I paired it with this in the outer corner, also smudged it along my lash line along with my eyeliner. Put this right above my crease and the lighter shade on my brow bone. This is the only matte shade in this eyeshadow palette, so if you're looking for a lot of mattes to play with, this is not the palette for you. And it's all about priming the eyes. So what I like to use with rose gold is something a lot deeper than what you're likely expecting. This is the Maybelline Color Tattoo in Chocolate Suede, and this is the one I tend to use for pretty much everything. I love this color tattoo. It's so nice and deep, and it will add that extra depth to any of my eyeshadows, because the problem with my eyes is that or my skin tone is that if I go in with something like this is the Milani Shadow Eyes in Champagne Toast, which is also very beautiful. If I put something like this as my base, which is really light, and then put another light eyeshadow on top, it just blends into my skin tone. It just kind of washes everything out. So that's why I need something really dark like this paired with the rose gold, and I think it goes really nicely together. This kind of gives it a little bit more depth than if I were to go in with a lighter eyeshadow base. And of course the other one is the Urban Decay Naked 3 palette. I adore this palette. I know it's not for everybody. Several of you have told me on Instagram that you don't like this palette and that it just doesn't show up on your eyes. I totally get it. Sometimes I think my skin tone doesn't really take on rose gold very well, but I love playing around with this palette because I love rose gold so much. It's like I gotta make it work. I think you can create a lot of different rose gold type of looks with it. You can stay up here and have a really light, subtle wash of rose gold on your eyes. Go down here and create a really nice smoky rose gold effect. If you aren't wanting to spend this much on the Naked palette, then go with this. I really do like this one. We are now done with eyeshadows and getting into the blushes. The first one is the Milani Baked Blush in Rose d'Oro. This was my first favorite Milani Baked Blush. As long as you use something like the Real Techniques Stipple Brush or just use a very light hand with any blush brush, you can create a very beautiful diffused rosy look, a little bit of a golden sheen. If you don't mind it, there definitely is a sheen and a little bit of shimmer to this, but not too much. Now something that's a lot more subtle and it doesn't have any sparkle whatsoever. This is complete sheen at its finest. This is the Benefit Rockateur. This is what I'm wearing today on my cheeks. You really can't go too far with this one. It's just that beautiful subtle rosiness. It doesn't look too much like you're wearing blush. It just looks like there's a little bit of a glow factor going on. And I love this for that reason. You can definitely pull off a I'm not wearing blush today, but I still look really healthy look to the cheeks with this one. This next one is called an Illuminator, but I would still call it a blush because of the shade. This is the NYX Illuminator in Chaotic. And I'd put this in the rose gold family because although it looks like a peachy pink, it does have that gold sheen or that gold shimmer to it. Very, very fine shimmer, by the way. And it gives you that same rose gold looking cheek. It comes off a little bit more sheer, which I like because I don't want my cheeks to look like I have blush on. Really saturated, really pigmented blushes aren't necessarily going to be my go-to because I don't want it to come off really intense on the cheeks. I love sheer washes of color like this sometimes, so I think this is a beautiful one if you're looking for something from NYX. And the other Illuminator highlighter type of product is the Wet n Wild Fergie highlighter, or it's called the Shimmer palette in Rose Golden Goddess. For deeper skin tones, this could be a beautiful cheekbone highlight, but for those of us with fair complexions, I think this is a great cheek blush topper. These Fergie shimmer palettes I think are very high quality. You get a lot of pigment, a lot of beautiful shine to it, and it doesn't look like chunky glitter. It's seriously a beautiful sheen to your skin. So if you want to try this out, try it as a cheek topper or blush topper, or you can use it on your cheekbone if you want to try that out as well. It's a beautiful highlight. Now I have one lip product and one nail color to talk about. I'll mention the nail color first. This is the Milani Color Statement Nail Lacquer, of course. I love these. And this one is in bronze. So the name bronze, it doesn't really seem like it'd be a rose gold, but to me, it does have that rosiness to it that can make it look like a rose gold. I am wearing it today. This is my 7th day of this application. I've mentioned before, I love the Milani Color Statement Nail Lacquers, and this is the 7th day. It's held up pretty well. There's maybe a little bit of a dent here on this nail, but otherwise, I have no chips. And I love this color for this time of year. I think it gives a really pretty rose gold effect to the nail. The only downside to this polish is you can see the brush strokes initially. So when you're applying it, don't worry about it. Just make sure that you're using smooth, straight strokes, and then put a top coat on top. It just kind of smooths everything together. So right now I can't really see the brush strokes too much, but if it does bother you, just know that that's kind of there. As long as you smooth it out with a top coat, I think you're fine. And for lip product, I only have one to mention because I tend to avoid frost or shimmer or anything like that in my lip products, but this one is an exception. I really like this one. It's the CoverGirl Lip Perfection Jumbo Gloss Bomb in Cocoa Twist. Although it's called Cocoa Twist, it's kind of like the bronze. There's a little bit of a rosiness to it, and you do have some gold shimmer in the product. But when it starts to wear off, it doesn't leave a lot of gold shimmer behind on your lips. It doesn't bother me at all. And I love these jumbo gloss bombs. I think they're really comfortable on the lips. They don't have a scent that distracts me. It's still, of course, going to be pretty sheer. It is a balm, but I just really like it when I'm going for a rose gold look and I want something a little bit more understated on the lips. I have some of these that are a little bit more of a berry color, and I really like all of these jumbo gloss bombs. And that's it for my rose gold products. If you have your own that I didn't mention, or maybe I did mention and we just have similar favorites, I'd love to know what they are in a comment. And also, if you have a request for the 3rd fall color trend, let me know what it is. I believe aside from the rose gold, I think green was the next most popular. So yeah, I hope you have a great day. I hope you have a wonderful November, and I will catch you guys again very soon. Bye!